was the chief minister.
Nilu, it is very unfortunate that we are not having a time difference even after the election and the new government is getting. It is unfortunate where we get to see there are a lot of promises, and where those promises were made even by the Prime Minister about the law and order situation and transformation of a peaceful state that the West Bengal. As I was talking about, that there had been no difference despite of the several promises, and basically the promises were made just before the election, just to change Bengal, transform Bengal into peaceful state, and that is what is happening here. It's only 62 days government as it's claimed, but I don't see 62 days government. The helm of the government, the chief minister himself has been into this administration for last 2 decades. And now this is a new regime where he's got absolute power to implement and where he's just not supplementing, subscribing the promises, but rather giving the kind of trade to a particular community. And that is where it is just you understand that where the division, where the lines and lines of action, and where exactly the kind of testimony which supposed to be provided by the police force. How could the chief minister to take action? I mean, action in the name of the religion, and he completely proclaimed his first two lines are fine, that nobody would be spared after this kind of brutal, the brutality on this minor girl. But the question is basically that what his perception is doing and how it is gone. If you are going to study this case, then you finally find that the police force is completely failed here to reach, even allow the people to have, this kind of vandalism. And this vandalism has scaled up so much so that a person was beaten, was lynched, beaten to death. So this is what is the story all about. I'm not criticizing the government, but I'm criticizing the kind of perception that the government, this new government, has projected before the election. Now, one thing is there that this is not one incident. The incident could have been started from Arjigar. Incident could have been started from Park Street case that initiated the first time when the Trinamool government took place. The question is not that, but if the same notion stands, if the same notion moves, if the same notion influences, so who dares? This would be again going to be another hell. So there is a patronage from this side, just transformed to another side. There is no difference because Saraswati was speaking about a particular person. I mean, a man who had escorted the criminal, who took it where the police failed. Now, this is showing that how these powers of evil are changing hands, nothing else. We had protested several times on several incidents happened of this kind of rapes and violences. But ultimately, the results had been the West Bengal government, West Bengal people have decided to change the government. So they had expectation. They had no anticipation of a kind like this would happen only by the span of 62 days. It's not only the case. Just gene therapy, what we call this egg therapy, the kind of, the parading of the accused whatsoever, the people. It can never be done. In a society like ours, in a constitutional, the rights that we have, we can never expect the government can patrol despite of the orders otherwise by the
Now,
courts.
look at the
By
reactions
the
which are coming
courts.
in. No, Chandan,
So
you're right. And look at
ultimately,
the Amir. Yes. What would you say to this?
I believe, Nilu, I believe there is a person like Sani Ghosh, or there are the
So,
people
Saini
like
Ghosh,
Sani
the
Ghosh.
statement by
Have
Saini Ghosh
I tell
looks as if
you,
there's a Ram Rajya now in West Bengal.
exactly. I mean, they are. I mean, see the people. They cannot work even individually there, even personally there. They couldn't visit him. She's the MP out there, but she cannot do this. This is what is a faction personalized by the BJP state as well as the central, and they have joined the party. I'm not talking about this. We had discussed about it, but the question is, Saini Ghosh doesn't have any standard. She has only to appease the government. But the question is that when we had found Mamata Banerjee had also shown this kind of courtesy, but nevertheless nothing happened then. I mean to say the parents are satisfied only when the harshest punishment will be meted out to the criminals. But there is a process. It long fight before that. The chief minister is giving a statement by saying a communal action. the communal perception, it can never do the justice. The justice is straight and direct. So we expect this justice be meted out, and then there is no Srinivas is, having a particular
Right.
stand out of it, and there
I
is no
think
question
Saraswati
of
Ghosh
harm
wants to make a
here for
point.
these,
Yeah,
uh,
I'll go to
any
Saraswati.
power
She's
at all
raising her hand.
whatsoever.
Chandan, I'll just go to come to Chandan now. Chandan, what would you say? And then I'll go to Samir for the concluding remarks. Yes.
It is simply, as we have discussed till now, that this standard operating procedure has to be maintained, and that is fine. Standard of operating procedure to be maintained by the government and the certain enforcement department. But where the reform is, you must really go onto a certain level of, the mental as well as the physical shape up. You cannot really expect one fine morning every police would be changed and my policeman would be changed into action. It can never be. And where the political platform isn't changed. Political platform in the sense I'm talking about the administrative platform only changed by the political too. But what we expect that this kind of, the incident, even why did I really tell you before that 62 days government? I'm not talking about that 62 days government. It is going to be the experience that really handles this kind of situation where the chief minister is experienced about 2 decades. So that's not a question. The question is the entire setup shouldn't be taken into political mindset. It should really create this certain administrative empowerment through the local police forces, as well as the central police forces, as well as the administrative apparatus the other way. They can really help it out. And moreover, it's a social, the sickness. I believe such incidents are taking place and where social awareness to be required and these programs to be initiated by the government as well as the sincere political parties altogether. That I can say.
Right. I think on the screen we have come to Chandan now. Chandan, what would you say? And then I'll go to Samir for the concluding remarks. Yes.
It is simply, as we have discussed till now, that this standard operating procedure has to be maintained, and that is fine. Standard of operating procedure to be maintained by the government and the certain enforcement department. But where the reform is, you must really go onto a certain level of, the mental as well as the physical shape up. You cannot really expect one fine morning every police would be changed and my policeman would be changed into action. It can never be. And where the political platform isn't changed. Political platform in the sense I'm talking about the administrative platform only changed by the political too. But what we expect that this kind of, the incident, even why did I really tell you before that 62 days government? I'm not talking about that 62 days government. It is going to be the experience that really handles this kind of situation where the chief minister is experienced about 2 decades. So that's not a question. The question is the entire setup shouldn't be taken into political mindset. It should really create this certain administrative empowerment through the local police forces, as well as the central police forces, as well as the administrative apparatus the other way.